In this video, I'm going to show you 3 must-have features in Google's anti-gravity that you should enable if you're a complete beginner or just getting started. Most people jump straight into prompting, but that's not what actually helps you build better systems. What really matters is how you set things up from the beginning. So I'll walk you through exactly how to enable these 3 features step by step, explain why they're important, and show you how this setup helps you build more reliable apps, automations, and workflows from day one. If you're new here, my name is Zubair. I run my own AI agency, and over the past year, I've taught thousands of people how to build AI automations and make money with AI through my community. So if you want to build better with anti-gravity from the start, this video is going to be for you. All right, let's get into it. Alright, so if you haven't used AntiGravity before, make sure you go to AntiGravity and download it. Of course, it's on antigravity.google.com/download. And depending on what machine you're using, make sure you download AntiGravity. Once you have it downloaded and you open it, this is what it's going to look like. So just quickly, on the left-hand side, these are going to be the folders and the files. The center is where you can see the implementation plan, and you open basically the files. And on the right-hand side, this is kind of where the magic happens. This is basically the agent, the anti-gravity agent that you can use natural language to interact with, and that's how you can build applications and everything else. All right, so the first feature right off the bat is going to be installing the anti-gravity extension, browser extension. This is super important. Now, the way to do that is just go to Google and just type anti-gravity browser extension. You can click on add to Chrome. Of course, you want to make sure that you're using Chrome and that's your default browser. Now, the reason why this is super important is you can see in the overview, but basically this allows anti-gravity to have access to the internet. And one of the most beautiful things about anti-gravity is that as you build the app, or as you give it an instruction to build the app, it will actually open this Chrome extension and show you exactly what the agent is doing and how it's testing it. So let's go ahead and take a look at an example of that. All right, so this is one of the previous apps a simple app that I built. As you can see on the right hand side here, that's where the agent is building stuff. And then on the left hand side, this tasks, or this little window that you're seeing, it's open. This is the Chrome extension that it's open. And while the agent in anti-gravity is building everything on the right hand side, the instructions, you can see the Chrome browser here. This is that amazing extension, the Chrome extension that allows you to see actually that anti-gravity is like, checking the different elements, it's testing it. By the way, I'm not doing anything. This was just basically, as you can see, anti-gravity doing its own thing. It's checking, it's adding a new task, it's clicking on buy groceries, it's kind of adding these different features, testing these different features. And the great thing is now you have this visual element, so you can see exactly what the agent is doing and what it's building. And again, that's the beauty of anti-gravity, that it is self-correcting and self-testing, meaning it will go ahead and test all the tasks based on the instruction you provided. And therefore, for you to have a visual understanding, for you to see exactly how the app is being built, is a great feature that anti-gravity has that a lot of other platforms don't. So super important, just visually, especially if you're new, this is very, very useful for you to basically understand what's going on behind the scene there. So that was feature number 1. Make sure you enable that. Feature number 2 is going to be having access or enabling MCPs. Now, MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. For those of you who don't know MCP, you can think of MCP as a universal remote for softwares to connect to each other, right? Again, I've done other videos on this. So if you're interested in checking out the detailed version of what an MCP is, please feel free to check out on my channel, or you can literally just ask ChatGPT or something. But essentially, it gives anti-gravity the ability to connect to other tools or other application in a very seamless manner. Now, then the way to enable that, we're gonna come to your anti-gravity here. On the top right here, it says additional options in these 3 dots. You're gonna click on this. You're gonna click on MCP servers. Now, these are the all MCP servers that you can connect right away. So for, you have things like Looker, you have things like Figma, GitHub, Stripe, so PayPal, all of these. So let's go ahead and add one, and then I'm going to show you also step by step how to add an MCP that is not part of the MCP store here. We're going to go ahead and add an MCP for N8N, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. So let's go ahead and, for instance, search for Supabase, because Supabase is one of the most popular MCPs here. So there you go. I'm just going to click on this. this. So this is going to automatically open Supabase here. So it just gives you all of the different details about what this MCP server does. And it's very simple to install. You click on install here, and this will ask you for the access token. So a lot of times these MCP servers either ask you for access token or some kind of other token or API key in order for you to enable and use this MCP inside AntiGravity. So for example, for this one's pretty simple because I already have Supabase. So if I click on this, all I have to do is generate a new token. So I'm just gonna, whatever, name it something. Click on generate token. And I can copy this token and go back to my AntiGravity. All I have to do is paste, save. So this is gonna go ahead and save this to config. And there you go. So now it says enabled right here, right? So if I refresh the page, you'll see that, okay, that's good. It's installed. Yep, perfect. It's installed. So now if I want to see what kind of MCPs I've enabled inside my AntiGravity, all I have to do is click on this manage MCP servers. And there you go. These are all the different MCPs that I have. Of course, I just installed Supabase because I started it fresh for you guys to see. But if you install other MCPs, all of that is going to show up here. Now, let's go ahead and see how to install an MCP that's not part of this MCP store, right? So let's say I want to install an N8N MCP. So let me go ahead and search for N8N. As you can see, it says no search results found. So the way to add a new MCP, there's multiple ways. One way is to just go to the MCP documentation for whatever MCP you're adding, literally copy it and come back to the agent and just say, hey, add this MCP server for me. For N8N, I'm going to show you actually step by step how to do this. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to get rid of this view raw config. So I'm just going to delete this. Don't worry about this. I'm going to explain what raw config is. I just want to quickly get rid of this. We can start fresh. There you go. So right now, no MCPs are installed. I got rid of that Supabase MCP. As you can see, if I search for N8N, there is no MCP for N8N that's currently there, right? So if I click on manage MCPs, as you can see, I don't have anything here because I wanted to start from blank. So now let's go ahead and add our N8N MCP step by step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this view raw config file. So as you can see right now, this is blank. It says this file should contain a JSON object specifying your MCP config. All right. So the way to add your N8N MCP is I'm going to head over to my N8N here. So this is my N8N workflows overview. So you're going to come to the bottom right hand corner here, click on settings, and you're going to click on MCP access. Okay. So once you come right here, you're going to click on access token because this will automatically open your OAuth, how to connect. So first of all, of course, you want to make sure that your MCP is enabled by toggling this. I'm going to click on access token and I'm going to refresh this token right here. So after I refresh it, it says in the bottom that make sure to copy the access token. Now you won't be able to see or copy it again. So again, you don't have to copy this right away. What I'm going to do is actually, it says, or use the following code in your mcp.json file. So you're going to click on this arrow here, and this is going to open up the that JSON script or that mcp.json that you can copy and paste to AntiGravity. So once you click on this, what I'm going to do is just basically copy everything, or I'm just going to click on right here. It says copy. I'm going to go back to my AntiGravity, and then this time, so what we're going to do is right here, again, I'm in my mcp.config.json file. If you somehow clicked away, you can click on MCP servers again. You're going to click on view raw config again, and here it's going to be blank. So I'm literally going to just paste that N8N MCP JSON that I just copied earlier. So once you do this, very important, make sure you save. I'm just going to press Command S. That's going to save the file. And now, if I go back to my manage MCP servers, and if I refresh the page, this should hopefully bring my N8N MCP now. And perfect. There you go. As you can see, N8N MCP, it says enabled. I have the ability to search for workflows with optional filters, execute workflows, get workflow details. Now, if you're new to N8N MCP, the way to give access to your MCP access to your workflows is, I'm going to go back to my workflows here. Let's say I want to give this AI UGC ad app access to MCP. As you can see right here, I already enabled it, but I'm going to disable it quickly so I can enable it again. All right. So let's say I want to add this or give access to the N8N MCP for this particular workflow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on these three dots. As you can see right here, it's very simple. It says enable MCP access. Once you click on it, this little sign shows up that says available on MCP. One important thing is you want to make sure that you have published this as well. So that way you're giving this particular, workflow in production access to your MCP. So very important, make sure this is published. And then again, make sure you have enabled the MCP for the workflows that you want this MCP to have access to. And then now if I go back to my to my anti-gravity, now I can build whatever I want to build, for N8N, and it will very easily access the workflows that I have enabled MCP inside my N8N. So very, very simple there, but very useful. All right. So the third one is going to be giving anti-gravity an instruction for file setups, for how it behaves, and instructions. So the best way to do that is to give it some kind of a markdown instructions. So that way you always start with the right setup. The way to do that is I'm going to go ahead and start fresh again. Let me get rid of this. I'm going to go back to agent. So again, same thing. I'm in my blank anti-gravity here. What I'm going to do is, it's always best practice whenever you're starting a project to create a new folder. So I'm going to click on open folder here. And what I'm going to do is go and create a new folder. I'm just going to call this test. So I'm going to click on create. There you go. So now I'm going to go ahead and click on open. And now I have this project open. Right here, as you can see on the left hand side, it's called test. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to click on create new file. And this time here, I'm just going to do instructions.md. Now, you can obviously change this name to anything, but I'm going to go ahead and put the link in the description to instructions.md. And for those of you who are part of my community, you can just head over to the classroom section, to the Vibe Coder, and to the anti-gravity course here. And this is going to be the last one right here. It says 3 must-have features in anti-gravity. So that file that I'm about to show you lives there. All right. So this right here, again, I'm going to put this in the link in the description. It's just a Google Doc. You can just copy and paste this so that way you can import it over here. So once you bring that over, this, you can call it instructions.md or whatever it may be, something kind of generic. But essentially what you're doing is you're giving anti-gravity instructions saying, hey, you're an anti-gravity agent. You convert user intent into reliable, repeatable outcomes. So you must operate with clear separation, blah, blah, blah. All of these different decision-making, execution, intent, planning, operating rules. We're giving it all the foundation and the environment set up so every time we get started the right way. And we also have in the bottom here directory structures. For those of you who are new to code, there's a bunch of different directories that usually get set. of things like gitignore.env, .tmp folder. So for example, a git ignore is you want to make sure you include any kind of credentials or anything like that in this .gitignore. So that way when things are being uploaded to GitHub or something like that, it doesn't upload your credentials, right? So once you have this set up, you're going to come right here. You're going to press @ and then I'm going to search for instructions.md. So as you can see right here, this is the file that I'm looking for. And we're going to type instantiate. And again, this just means that we're telling anti-gravity to set up everything according to the instructions that are inside this file. So it's going to go ahead and make sure everything is analyzed, and then based on these instructions, set up our environment. And you'll see in a little bit on the left-hand side, you'll see some folders and new files get created. All right, so there you go. Now it's going to go ahead and go through this instructions.md file. It's going to go ahead and create the different folders, instructions that you go on the left hand side. As you can see, now we have these different files and folders that are being created, and all of this is being done based on the instructions that we have provided. So as you can see on the left hand side, these folders and directives and gitignore.env that it created, all of it is based on the file right here, the directory structure that we provided here. And then of course everything else is things like, plan before execution, validating output. All of this moving forward will be set up, and it'll be done based on these instructions. So I'm just going to click on accept all, and now you are starting in the with a good foundation. So as you can see right here, these are the different files it created. and now you're good to go. So whatever project you create, now you're starting in the right foot. So these are the 3 different features. Like I said, these are must-haves for, especially for a beginner. Obviously, as you move forward, there's a lot of other things that you will want to set up, but this is to get you started in the right foot. Of course, if you want to learn anti-gravity, you can check out the course inside my community. And if you're interested in how to learn how to make money with AI, N8N, Voice AI, we have an incredible community. Feel free to check it out. We have people from all over the world that are there to collaborate and get their first customer and just learn how to use AI the right way. Would love for you to join. Hopefully I'll see you inside. Make sure you like, subscribe, because I've got a lot more content coming up that you don't want to miss. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.